Isonzo's gameplay is rather simple. Simply, you shoot anyone wearing a different color uniform than you at the capture point or in the general direction everyone else is moving. But that does not mean that the game should be dismissed as being too simple. Although it appears to be a typical shooter at first glance, there are some interesting things to learn that can benefit you on the battlefield. Here are a few easy beginner's tips that will help you adjust to the battlefield and help you survive a little bit longer. Starting from number 7, stay with your team. With 24 players on each side, Isonzo has a rather large player base. As a result, the battlefield may become quite crowded. Although it's unlikely that you'll be alone for very long given how many people are moving about, you should typically avoid straying in open battle rifle that too all alone. Death can strike quickly and unexpectedly because the time to kill is rather high and it only takes 1 or 2 well-placed rifle bullets from half the way across the map to take you down. Because firearms reload slowly, sticking with your friends gives you more manpower. Additionally, you'll always need someone to guard your back in case you're attacked or miss your initial shot, so continue to move as a unit. Moving on to number 6, choose class wisely. Focusing on a specific class rather than switching between them is strongly advised if you want to get better gear more quickly. Although you level up overall, your experience for positions comes through utilization and reaching difficult milestones. These tasks start off very simple, but progressing to higher levels might take much longer than you would expect. You won't even have reached a rifleman's maximum level of 5 after a few hours with them, let alone 20. The best advice is to choose the position you enjoy the most and stay with it, then switch to a different one once it has reached its capacity. Your time will be used much more effectively this way. Moving on to number 5, always use machine guns. Machine guns were a relatively new addition to fighting during World War I, and they completely devastated men on the battlefield. The same is true of the situation in Isonzo, where the fixed MG positions may rapidly net you some very simple kills. Despite having limited ammunition, they can pose a significant threat because they are the only actual fully automatic weapon in a setting and time when everyone is utilizing bolt-action rifles. From one of these nests tucked away in a trench, you'll frequently witness whole infantry charges being sliced to ribbons, or by their fast firing suppressing vast portions of the map. The machine gun nests in the right hand are quite lethal, so if you find one open, grab it and start shooting. Moving on to number 4, focus on reloading. Although it may seem strange, reloading in Isonzo will frequently result in your death. However, that's not always a negative thing as it works both ways, and you may frequently get fortunate with kills on other players who are also fooled by it. For those who are unfamiliar, you can only reload your guns after they are entirely empty, and you must manually press the reloading button whenever your pistol runs out of ammo. If your gun runs out of ammo and you don't touch the reload button, it will by default remain empty even if you try to shoot. You may alter this in the options to auto-reload. You may probably imagine what occurs when you or an opposing player briefly attempts to fire with an unloaded weapon. It is advised that you take a few seconds throughout a round to become familiar with the various speeds so you won't be caught off guard at the worst possible time because the reloading animation and duration vary depending on the gun. Moving on to number 3, use melee more often. Close quarters, swift, and nasty battle takes place in trenches. Knowing how Isonzo handles melee may make all the difference when you jump into a trench filled with hostile players. Even binoculars may be used as physical weapons in a pinch, and each one deals harm in a different way. For example, if you charge in holding a rifle, you can instantly kill someone by bayonet and then kill another by hip-firing a few seconds later. The wonderful thing about it is that using the rifle to stab someone locks you into a brief animation that renders you damage-proof for a short period of time. If you move quickly enough, you can chain this animation. It's a good little combination that works well for emptying rooms, as opposed to hitting someone with a pair of binoculars, which would only cause little harm. However, compared to using a melee weapon, the bayonet moves significantly more slowly. There are a few secondary items available, and unlike the bayonet, they don't lock you into an animation while you're beating someone to death. It enables you to swiftly dispatch troops, but the moment they get any separation, you run the risk of being shot. Find a mix that works for you in case the battle becomes harsh and close quarters. Moving on to number 2, get some grenades. Getting your hands on some grenades is a must if you want to wreak complete havoc on the battlefield. They take a bit to unlock, but given how many simple kills you can achieve with them, they can end up being an excellent method to grind experience points rapidly. On the vast landscapes of Isonzo, you'll frequently witness soldiers huddled together or mass charges of infantry hiding behind the already limited cover. They are instantaneously reduced to gory bits with only one grenade throw. Additionally, because low-level players won't have them, higher-level squads may easily trample over lower-level opponents. Lastly, moving on to number 1, stick to the trenches. Although it may seem like a given advice, avoid entering the battlefield, especially if you don't see anything to use as a cover nearby. The period's outfits aren't precisely designed for concealment, and it's simple to be recognized from a great distance, especially if you're sporting one of the Italians' gorgeous brilliant blue suits. Sticking to the trenches or hiding behind as many bodies of other players as you can is strongly advised, because all it takes is one sniper round to take you out. 1 or 2 snipers are always on the lookout for those who venture outside the trench lines. If they don't catch you, the machine gun nests will. So, when you go toward the capture points, keep your head down and find a cover. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it so far. If so, then subscribe to the channel and like the video in order to see more gaming content like this in future. Comment down below how was your experience playing it and what video do you need next. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.